I saw hell. It is real. You want to avoid it at all costs. I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning to get a glass of water. And suddenly, I was pulled out of my body, like being sucked out of your body. I never had anything like that before. And I found myself falling through the air, tumbling through the air down this long tunnel, and I landed in a prison cell. It's just as real as me sitting here now. I was awake and cognizant. I was not dreaming. Actually traveling to another place. And when I ended up there and I hit that stone floor, and I looked up and I saw these two enormous beasts in the cell. Creatures. They were 12 and 13 feet tall. Bumps and scales all over the one's body. A huge jaw, sunken in eyes, claws about 1 foot long. They had the most ferocious, vicious demeanor you can ever imagine, and this extreme hatred for God. They were blaspheming and cursing God. And these demons, the one picked me up, threw me into the wall. They have tremendous strength. Hit the wall, bones broke. And then the other one picked me up and dug its claws in my chest and just tore the flesh open. I wanted to die, but I couldn't. And those creatures have no mercy, none whatsoever. And just when they were about to yank my arms and legs off, something grabbed me and pulled me out of the cell. But I was placed over next to this pit of fire, this raging pit of fire that was about 1 mile across, this pit. Huge inferno with flames raging high up into this open cavern. And it was real fire. It wasn't metaphorical or allegorical flame. And this is where I could first see people. There were literally people inside this pit burning. I saw the flesh hanging off their bones. They were screaming in agony. I felt so bad for those people. And there were demons pushing people back in. They were trying to claw their way out, desperately trying to get out of this pit. There were snakes all over. And maggots, disgusting maggots, feeding on people and crawling all over everything. Like I said, the smells are the most foul, putrid, disgusting odors you didn't want to breathe because it was actually toxic. It was so foul. You have to fight and gasp for even the tiniest bit of air, and this is how you breathe in hell. It was like... That was as much air as you could get. So any moment you think, I'm going to die, I don't have enough air to breathe. Just a drop of water would have been precious. But you don't ever get that drop of water. And it doesn't matter if you're somebody famous here on the earth, you're a nothing and a nobody. You have no purpose, no destiny. It's just torment. Day and night, day and night, day and night. I literally felt like I'd been there 23 weeks, even though I was there 23 minutes. I wanted to communicate with my wife somehow and let her know where I was at. My wife and I are very close. That thought alone, to live with for all eternity, was really, really tormenting for me. To know that I'll never get to tell her where I'm at.
Help me! Help me! Help!
And I woke to screams coming from our living room. And I found my husband in a state that I have never, ever seen him in.
Help! 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 Go! Go!
Anyone who knows Bill knows he's real calm, he's conservative, he's real peaceful in his nature. So to see your husband in complete terror crying out from your living room floor is beyond shocking. And I'm thinking, is he dying? Do I need to call 911? Do I need to call emergency services? And he began to scream out, and he screamed, pray for me, the Lord has taken me to hell. And I just began to pray for Bill. And after about 20 minutes, he began to calm down, and the Lord very graciously took the torment and the fear from his mind. But he left the memory of what had happened so he could share his story. And that's what he's been doing.
This experience absolutely has changed my life. And anybody that could see hell, it would change their life too. I had a successful career, making $500,000 a year. Why would I leave that career just to subject myself to the ridicule? But I can tell you why. It's because God doesn't want anybody to go to this place. You know, He didn't make it for man. He made it for the devil and his angels, but man has a choice. He gives man a free will. And Jesus paid that price so that you wouldn't have to. You can pay it, or you can let Him pay it. He paid it for you. You don't have to go to this place. It is up to you. You know, I only spent 23 minutes in this place, and I'm telling you, I saw it. Hell is a real place. It really exists. You want to avoid it at all costs.
Terlepas dari semua kebenaran ini, NASA secara resmi telah mempublikasikan temuannya bahwa di alam semesta ini sekurangnya terdapat 2.740 planet serupa bumi yang mengorbit pada 2036 bintang. Terlebih, saat ini di alam semesta diperkirakan terdapat sekurangnya 500 miliar galaksi dengan berbagai ukuran seperti halnya Bima Sakti. Bumi seperti halnya sebuah debu di antara tumpukan pasir. Jadi mungkin saja kehidupan tidak hanya ada di muka bumi ini. Kabel Indrawan, Metro TV. Rupanya, hayalan inilah yang membuat para ilmuwan fisika membuat sebuah teori yang disebut dengan lubang cacing atau wormhole. Dalam ilmu fisika, lubang cacing merupakan bagian dari alam semesta yang dapat dipergunakan sebagai jalan pintas untuk bepergian ke tempat lain yang sangat jauh. Fenomena alam ini secara teoritis merupakan lorong magnetik yang memiliki gravitasi sangat kuat, sehingga mampu menarik apapun yang masuk ke dalamnya, lalu mendorongnya ke ujung lorong yang lain hanya dalam beberapa saat. Ujung lorong lain yang dimaksud adalah pintu dari alam semesta yang paralel dengan kita, atau bisa juga alam semesta dari galaksi lain yang berjarak ribuan tahun cahaya. Sejumlah ahli fisika terkemuka pernah berasumsi, kuatnya gravitasi wormhole sudah cukup membuat moda transportasi yang tidak terlalu canggih sekalipun mampu melaju dengan kecepatan di atas kecepatan cahaya. Oleh karena itu, secara teoritis, perjalanan antar galaksi yang letaknya amat berjauhan bukan tidak mungkin bisa ditempuh hanya dalam waktu 1 hari atau lebih cepat lagi. Menurut Albert Einstein, keberadaan wormhole amat erat kaitannya dengan black hole atau lubang hitam, sebuah objek alam semesta yang dikenal memiliki gravitasi amat kuat. Sementara menurut ilmuwan Stephen Hawking, dengan melalui wormhole, kita bisa pergi kemanapun dalam riwayat bumi, bisa pergi ke masa lalu, dan pergi ke masa depan. Meski demikian, semua teori hanya bisa dilakukan jika manusia memiliki kekuatan dan kecepatan yang super tinggi. Sebenarnya imajinasi tentang lubang cacing sudah menjadi hayalan para sinias Hollywood dalam film-film fiksi ilmiahnya. Sebut saja film legendaris Star Trek yang memanfaatkan lubang cacing dan kecepatan melampaui cahaya yang bernama warp. Terlebih, saat ini para ahli dari NASA Amerika Serikat telah mengembangkan sebuah alat yang disebut dengan Warp Drive First atau generasi pertama mesin warp. Jadi bukan tidak mungkin, suatu hari kita dapat bepergian menjelajahi alam semesta yang maha luas ini dengan kecepatan tinggi dan sekejap mata. Kabel Indrawan, Metro TV.
Three-time Academy Award-winning actress Elizabeth Taylor spoke on CNN's Larry King Live about her experience of having died for 5 minutes on the operating table while undergoing surgery. She said she passed through a tunnel and headed towards a brilliant white light. This phenomenon is a common occurrence with the majority of those who have had such out-of-body experiences. She spoke about how she encountered the spirit of Michael Todd, her deceased husband. Mike was Taylor's third husband, who was killed in a plane crash in 1958. She felt such overwhelming peace that she had wanted to stay with Todd. But her husband told her that she had work and life ahead of her. When she was resuscitated, there were about 11 people in the room. For a long time, she didn't talk about it. But now she is sharing the story with people who are dying of AIDS to comfort them.
I don't know what to say. It's just beyond our imagination. No one in this world cannot describe it.
An atheist family is turned upside down when their 4-year-old daughter begins to share her visions and dreams of heaven and her nighttime visits with Jesus. The art world too is turned upside down when she turns these visits with the Master into masterpieces.
He showed me galaxies, he showed me universes, he showed me different worlds that I can't describe or I can't explain.
When Akiana started sharing her story about meeting God and even, in fact, living in a realm that I could not see or visualize or even comprehend, that was very uncomfortable.
As I was with him, he was like beside me, showing me these places, and it was just amazing. Just you're free. It was like freedom to me.
Well, at that time, I was an atheist, and I did not believe in God. I simply thought that believing in God was a form of a schizophrenia, which is usually now in the country that I was raised, which is a former Soviet Union. That's how we believed, that if someone hears from God, talks to God, they have schizophrenia.
When I first visited heaven, it was so hard to describe. It was like I was a foreigner in there. I didn't know the language. I didn't know what they were talking about. But all I had inside me was the treasure of sight. I observed and I looked. I tried to tell my mom. I so wanted her to see what I saw through my eyes. But it was so hard for me to do that. And well, at the age of 4, it's kind of hard to talk.
But after months and months of seeing her devotion to God, to prayer, to extraordinary even vocabulary that she was developing, made me really think twice about God's existence, and I slowly started developing faith, and by faith I accepted God.
I wish I could describe like day and night about what I've seen, but I guess my words are limited, you know. Then, yes, I picked up the paintbrush and I put all my words into the paints, you know, into the drawings.
Oh, I knew that she was very, very talented at the age of 4 when she started scribbling her first drawings on the tables, on the windows, on her body, on the floors, under the tables. I knew she had a talent.
Well, I am self-taught and God is my teacher. I think God has given me this gift to share with others, to inspire others to use their gifts. I think the message to all people that God wants them to know is just to love one another and love Him and love God. It's simple, but I think it's rewarding.